Okay, the problem with this HP computer, it's a couple of years old, touchscreen. Some of the buttons quit working on the keyboard. G is one, nothing happening. H, backspace, that one's makes it particularly difficult, as well as the quotation and the apostrophe don't work either. So there's 4 or 5 keys that don't work, making it hard to use this computer. So we're going to shut it down and move the battery. Okay, let's get at this. Out with the battery. And now there are simply 2 small screws. I'm going to use a number 1. I'm pointing to them there. And I'm going to use a number 1 point Phillips screwdriver to get this tiny screw out of there. Hardest part of it can be to get a grip on the head, because these are awfully small. And there's the second one that's up there in the label area. There's a little icon on there that'll show you, what it is. But that's actually for the keyboard. That's all it's for. And pop her open. Now this is the fun part. All you really have to do is get under there with something that you can reach under the keyboard and pry it up. It comes up from the bottom. Lift it out from the bottom and then pivot it to the side. There's a connector under there, so don't go crazy. To get this connector out, it's just kind of a locking, pivoting connector. That little brown piece, just pull it back, and out comes the flat connector for the keyboard, and we're out of there. Okay, let's move into installation now. I just got this in, I got it from eBay, $14.98. So these aren't expensive. This is a genuine HP part. There's the number PK1314D4A00, and it looks like it's going to be just a good fit for us here. What we're going to do now first is plug it in. So you want to get it oriented. Kind of picture the way it's going to look when it folds back down, and put our little flat circuit connector in there and get it seated squarely in this connector. Remember, this was this lockdown style connector, so we're going to get it seated in there, and there's that little brown lever once it's in there all the way that you just snap down into position, and it's good. So now taking a look at it from underneath before we fold it down, make sure nothing is kinked. What you want to do, there's some knobs on the bottom, some kind of protrusions that you have to fit in first. So I'm pushing it down from the bottom, and then when it's seated in the bottom, it'll snap it carefully all the way around. So this is really very easy to install as well. And what's going to do the major holding here, as we flip this over, are those 2 screws on the back. Now, of course, it isn't really seated down now, so you have to be a little bit careful not to push it with the screws. So, what I'm doing is I turn these number 1 head Phillips into position. If it doesn't seem to seat in there, you might have to get underneath and stick a hand against the keyboard to get it seated all the way so it doesn't push the keyboard. That's what I'm doing here. Make sure it doesn't push the keyboard if it's not quite aligned before the threads catch. And put the battery back in. We'll power it up and test it. It could be exciting here. We might actually have some full use of the keyboard now. I've been getting by with the touch option on here on this computer for a while, and it's frustrating. Going through the power on sequence, we'll just speed through this. There we are. G and H are back. I'm excited. I've got the apostrophe and the backspace. Running through the keys, and we're going to be back in business. Thanks for watching.